Hey everyone, John Green here, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is like this super useful tool that you can use in all sorts of situations, from school to work to just everyday conversations. It's not just about changing words, it's about understanding and conveying the same message in a new way. Basically, it means taking someone else's words and putting them into your own words without changing the meaning. Imagine you're reading a complex text and you need to explain it to a friend who doesn't understand the jargon. That's where paraphrasing comes in handy. It's like translating something into your own language, but instead of a different language, it's just a different way of saying the same thing. This skill is particularly useful when you're trying to simplify complicated information or make it more relatable to your audience. So why is paraphrasing so important? Well, for starters, it shows that you really understand the information. When you can rephrase something accurately, it means you've truly grasped the concept. Well, for starters, it shows that you really understand the information. If you can explain something in your own words, it means you've processed it and made it your own. This is a critical skill in both academic and professional settings. If you can explain something in your own words, it means you've processed it and made it your own. Plus, it helps you avoid plagiarism, which is basically like stealing someone else's work. And trust me, you don't want to be caught plagiarizing. Plus, it helps you avoid plagiarism, which is basically like stealing someone else's work. Plagiarism is a serious offense in the academic world and can have severe consequences, including failing grades and damaged reputations. And trust me, you don't want to be caught plagiarizing. It's like a big no-no in the academic world. But paraphrasing isn't just about avoiding getting in trouble. It's also a great way to make your writing more interesting and engaging. It's like a big no-no in the academic world. But paraphrasing isn't just about avoiding getting in trouble. It's also a great way to make your writing more interesting and engaging. When you paraphrase, you can add your own voice and style to the information, making it more unique and personal. But paraphrasing isn't just about avoiding getting in trouble. It's also a great way to make your writing more interesting and engaging. Imagine reading a paper that's just a bunch of quotes strung together. Boring, right? It's also a great way to make your writing more interesting and engaging. Imagine reading a paper that's just a bunch of quotes strung together. Boring, right? But if you paraphrase those quotes, you can make your writing flow more smoothly and sound more Imagine reading a paper that's just a bunch of quotes strung together. Boring, right? But if you paraphrase those quotes, you can make your writing flow more smoothly and sound more you. This not only makes your work more engaging, but also demonstrates your ability to synthesize information. But if you paraphrase those quotes, you can make your writing flow more smoothly and sound more you. So how do you actually paraphrase something? Well, there are a few different techniques you can use, and we'll get into those in the next section. So how do you actually paraphrase something? Well, there are a few different techniques you can use, and we'll get into those in the next section. But the basic idea is to read the original text carefully. Make sure you understand it and then put it into your own words. Easy peasy, right? Well, there are a few different techniques you can use, and we'll get into those in the next section. But the basic idea is to read the original text carefully, make sure you understand it, and then put it into your own words. Easy peasy, right? Okay. Maybe not easy peasy, but definitely doable with a little practice. But the basic idea is to read the original text carefully, make sure you understand it, and then put it into your own words. Easy peasy, right? Okay, maybe not easy peasy, but definitely doable with a little practice. Remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Okay, maybe not easy peasy, but definitely doable with a little practice. Remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So keep practicing, and soon you'll be a paraphrasing pro. All right, let's talk techniques. Paraphrasing is an essential skill, especially in academic and professional writing. It allows you to convey the same ideas in a new way, demonstrating your understanding and avoiding plagiarism. But how do you do it effectively? Let's dive into some techniques that can help you master the art of paraphrasing. Paraphrasing isn't just about swapping out a few words here and there. It's about rephrasing the entire sentence or passage to make it your own while retaining the original meaning. This requires a deeper understanding of the text and the ability to express the same idea in a different way. You've got to be a little more strategic than that. Think of paraphrasing as a puzzle where you need to rearrange the pieces to create a new picture. It's not just about changing words, but also about altering the structure and flow of the sentences. One way to paraphrase effectively is to change the structure of the sentence. This means you can start by identifying the main idea and then reordering the components of the sentence to create a new structure. This technique helps in making the text sound fresh and original. So, let's say you have a sentence like, "The cat sat on the mat." This is a simple sentence, but it can be paraphrased in multiple ways to convey the same meaning. You could paraphrase that by saying, "On the mat sat the cat." Notice how the structure has changed, but the meaning remains the same. See, same meaning, different structure. This is a simple example, but it illustrates the point that changing the order of words can make a big difference. Another technique is to use synonyms, which are words that have the same or similar meanings. This can help you avoid repetition and make your writing more engaging. So instead of saying cat, you could say feline. This small change can make your writing sound more sophisticated and varied. And instead of sat, you could say rested. Using synonyms not only helps in paraphrasing, but also enriches your vocabulary. So, our paraphrased sentence would now be, "On the mat rested the feline." Fancy, right? This shows how a few strategic changes can transform a simple sentence into something more elaborate. You can also change the order of the information. This technique is particularly useful when dealing with complex sentences or paragraphs. So instead of saying, "The cat sat on the mat," you could say, "The mat was where the cat sat." This not only changes the structure, but also emphasizes different parts of the sentence. Again, same meaning, different order of information. This technique can be particularly effective in making your writing more dynamic and engaging. The key is to experiment with different techniques and see what works best for you. Paraphrasing is a skill that improves with practice, so don't be afraid to try different approaches. And remember, the goal of paraphrasing isn't to completely change the original text, it's to restate it in a way that's clear, concise, and easy to understand. This is especially important in academic writing, where clarity and precision are crucial. It's to restate it in a way that's clear, concise, and easy to understand. Simplifying complex ideas can make your writing more accessible to a wider audience. So don't be afraid to simplify complex sentences or break down long paragraphs into shorter ones. This can make your writing more readable and easier to follow. The important thing is to stay true to the original meaning while making the information your own. Paraphrasing is about finding your voice and expressing ideas in a way that resonates with you and your audience. So keep practicing and you'll become a paraphrasing pro in no time. Now let's talk about why paraphrasing is so important in academic writing. Paraphrasing is a skill that goes beyond just rewording sentences. It's about understanding the essence of the original text and expressing it in your own unique way. This skill is crucial because it demonstrates your comprehension of the material and your ability to communicate it effectively. You see, when you're writing a paper or an essay, you're going to be using information from other sources like books, articles, and websites. These sources provide the foundation for your arguments and ideas. They offer evidence, perspectives, and insights that enrich your work. However, it's essential to integrate this information properly to maintain academic integrity, and that's totally cool. In fact, it's encouraged. Using external sources shows that you've done your research and are engaging with the scholarly community. It indicates that you're building on existing knowledge and contributing to the ongoing academic conversation, but there's a right way to do it. But the thing is, you can't just copy and paste that information into your own work. Simply copying text verbatim without proper attribution is not only lazy, but also unethical. It undermines the trust between you and your readers, including your professors and peers. They expect you to present original thoughts and properly credit the sources that influenced your work. That's plagiarism, and it's a big no-no. Plagiarism can have serious consequences, ranging from failing the assignment to more severe academic penalties. It can damage your reputation and academic record. Therefore, understanding how to paraphrase correctly is not just a technical skill, but a fundamental aspect of academic integrity. Think of it like this. When you write a paper, you're basically having a conversation with other scholars and researchers who have written about the same topic. You're engaging with their ideas, questioning their conclusions, and adding your own insights. This dialogue is what drives academic progress and innovation. And just like in any conversation, it's important to give credit where credit is due. Citing your sources properly acknowledges the original authors and allows your readers to trace the development of your ideas. It shows respect for the intellectual property of others and enhances the credibility of your own work. When you paraphrase someone else's work, you're basically saying, hey, I read what you wrote and I understand it and I'm going to use it to support my own ideas. This process involves digesting the original content, reflecting on its meaning, and then expressing it in a way that aligns with your own voice and perspective. It's like giving them a shout out in your paper. You're acknowledging their contribution to your understanding and building on it. This not only enriches your work, but also fosters a sense of community and collaboration within the academic world. And the cool thing is, when you paraphrase correctly, you're not just avoiding plagiarism, you're also showing your professor that you're engaging with the material on a deeper level. You're demonstrating critical thinking, analytical skills, and the ability to synthesize information from various sources. You're not just regurgitating information, you're synthesizing it, analyzing it, and making it your own. This process of transformation is what makes your work original and valuable. It shows that you can take existing knowledge and create something new and insightful from it. And that's what college is all about, right? It's about learning, growing, and contributing to the world of knowledge. By mastering the art of paraphrasing, you're not only upholding academic integrity, but also becoming a more effective and ethical communicator. So keep practicing, keep learning, and keep contributing to the academic conversation. But paraphrasing isn't just for school, it's a super useful skill to have in all sorts of situations. Like, imagine you're trying to explain a complicated concept to someone who's not familiar with the jargon. Paraphrasing can help you break down that concept into simpler terms that anyone can understand. Or let's say you're writing a marketing brochure and you need to target different audiences. You can use paraphrasing to adapt the language and tone of your writing to appeal to each specific group. For example, you might use more technical language when you're writing for experts, but simpler language when you're writing for the general public. Paraphrasing can also help you avoid sounding repetitive, especially if you're writing a long document or giving a presentation. By using different words and phrases to express the same ideas, you can keep your audience engaged and prevent them from tuning out. So whether you're writing an email, giving a presentation, or just chatting with friends, paraphrasing can help you communicate more effectively and make sure your message is heard.